much is out. Oh my god.
A lot is out.
Deep breath. Wait for Dr. Jameson, okay?
Right.
I can't wait. Oh!
That's the craziest thing I hear nurses say. They're like, wait. Hey mama, so today I'm going to be reacting to an intense labor and delivery vlog so that I can show you from a doula's perspective how you can achieve a more positive birth experience. So let's start.
So we went to the birthing center today for an ultrasound because today Lex is 41 weeks and 2 days.
Yeah.
And then the ultrasound tech said that she had low amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
You looked at your paperwork and said,
It said I had like 1.8 centimeters and the lowest in the range is 5 centimeters. They apparently have 5 to 25.
Very low.
So it's very low.
So they told us we can't birth at the birthing center. We were going to do a natural birth at the birthing center. And now we got to deal with the hospital and go to the hospital, get her an ultrasound and see what they say we should do. I just finished up the New Wave live stream, so we wanted to wait. We didn't want to just rush to the hospital, make a rash decision. The birth center was freaking out though.
Now we're headed to the hospital.
Head to the hospital to do an ultrasound so they can check the fluid.
And they're going to do some monitoring on him, I
And
guess.
see what advice they give us. So we may induce her tonight. Maybe not. We have no idea. We're just kind of in uncharted territory now because our whole plan out the door.
Yeah, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're sending me to the emergency room. This is like something that's going to be like life-threatening to my baby. And I'm 41 weeks, I'm 10, 11 days past due. And at this point, you tell me that, oh, I can't birth here. I need to go over there right away. I don't know what to think. This is our first kid. So, I mean, I was completely caught off guard by this.
First thing that stands out to me is just, it seems like their plans have changed. They were supposed to have the baby at the birth center, now they have to go to the hospital. But even though even though she's mentioned that, you know, she was a bit scared, like they still maintain that positive attitude, and that's a big thing, is staying very flexible and open to change and trying to just maintain a positive attitude as things go, because labor really can go anyway sometimes.
We checked into a room in the hospital. I mean, I'm 41 weeks and 3 days. I mean, I had a feeling this would happen, so we packed our bags and we're here with everything that we need. We did an ultrasound, and this ultrasound they did here said the same thing the birthing center said, which was my fluid was very low. He's a big boy and he's taking up all space. So I think we're having a baby tonight. I wanted to do the whole, labor at home and then birth at the center.
You're hippie at heart.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm with my Fleetwood Mac playing in the background. I picked out the room and it was all bohemian and stuff. But this is, it's not too bad, They came and they rolled me down in a wheelchair and gave me a warm heated blanket, gave me a cup of ice. Best ice I ever had. This is Cytotec, so it's supposed to help labor start and thinning out my cervix or something. So I'm going to take it and we're going to see what happens. Okay, Brad. These things are not anything to play with. These are kind of strong. Walking him out. I feel energized right now, so if we could have him today, that'd be great.
I like how she's staying upright and trying to move a lot. That's a really good thing.
So after having Cytotec for several hours, I was only dilated to 1 centimeter. And so they offered me Pitocin. I had no clue what Pitocin was going to feel like, but I found out quickly. Oh. 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 Oh.
Yeah, I understand having low amniotic fluid is something that can be concerning, but I personally feel like 1 hour of this is not enough to say, okay, yeah, we need to give you Pitocin, unless there's something else that they checked to get to that conclusion, because you can go from 1 centimeters to 10 centimeters, and just because it took 1 hour and it was 1 centimeter doesn't mean it's going to take another 9 hours for you to get fully dilated. I feel like that was a bit too soon, but maybe giving them benefit of the doubt that maybe there was something else that they saw that made them decide to do that. And yeah, this is how the contractions with Pitocin goes. It's very, very intense.
Basically, the reason why I was against epidural is because I was against all interventions. But it's well, since I have Pitocin, I already knew, if you have Pitocin, you're probably gonna need an epidural. And I was well, I can probably make it, if I get Pitocin at 6 centimeters, I could probably do that. But
unfortunately, this is how it usually goes. Once you start with any intervention, you would usually have to go through all of them, and that's what she's saying. She said that she did think this was what will happen once she had to get the Pitocin. Yeah, because it's so intense. It's very difficult for a lot of moms to really take that pain. And then you see some moms, they had the Pitocin and so they had to get the epidural. And then when they talk about it, they're like, yeah, labor was so painful, like I can't do natural. But they don't know that when you don't have Pitocin, it's not as painful. Typically, it's not as painful when, you know, the contractions are happening naturally. Of course, we want your baby to be safe. So if it has to be something that happens, then it happens, right?
It's like whenever it's really hitting its peak, you just kind of put this to your face and take a deep breath in.
You know, this gas and air thing, I can't wait to see if it actually works for her. Almost never works. I can't imagine it working for Pitocin contractions. It's like, just throw that thing out the window.
I feel nothing.
Feel anything?
Yep, she says she feels nothing.
So for pain, like, it's probably hard to quantify, but how much pain does the epidural knock off?
It takes away all of the sharp pain.
Oh,
All of it.
dang.
Basically, I want him to do the check, but that's a long time from now.
Hey,
But I
It'd
want
be 45 minutes.
I want
not
him
too
to do the
bad.
check
You can do 45 minutes.
because if I'm at like 3 centimeters, then I feel like getting an epidural is a little premature.
Yeah, this is why I have very mixed feelings about cervical checks. Like, she's saying that she wants to do a check to help her decide whether or not she should get the epidural. And I get the idea behind that, but the thing is that these checks, they don't really tell you how much longer you have to go. And so she could get the epidural now. You know, she sees that she's not up to 3 centimeters. But then what now happens is that it now even just slows things down further. Or she could have checked and she's at 2 centimeters, and then in 2 hours she's at 8 centimeters. It's just like you're really playing a guessing game with it, because it doesn't really tell you how much longer you have to go. And so many people check and they get discouraged, and then they make decisions because of that. And
Should I even wait?
Will that increase the risk of tearing off? That would be worth it. The nurse said if anything changes in that time period, let her know, because we're supposed to be waiting on the doctor for 45 minutes. Well, he didn't show up in 45 minutes. Doesn't matter, because about 2 minutes after the nurse said that, I'm running out the room. Nurse, can we get the epidural? Lex wants the epidural, because like she didn't really know if she wanted it, but it started getting so painful. I'm like, Lex, are you sure you want to get the epidural? You want to still wait for the doctor? She's like, give it to me. So boom, I'm out the door. We asked for the epidural.
my own philosophy when I'm supporting my clients is that I never ask if they want epidural. Because I tell, when I'm having my prenatal visits, I tell them, no one needs to remind you that an epidural exists. Nobody. You're in pain. You will be thinking about your options. You're probably thinking about your way out, especially if you're in the hospital. So I don't need to remind you, because what that does is that if you were trying to hold on to your, you know, have some willpower and hold on, and I'm like, hey, do you want the epidural? I feel like subconsciously I'm telling you that I don't trust you, or I don't think you can do it. And so you're like, oh, if she thinks I should get the epidural, I should probably get the epidural. And I feel like in that way I'm doing you a disservice. Now, I don't know what she and her husband discussed, and maybe that was what they agreed on. But for me, I never ask. Now, if you ask and say, hey, Deborah, I think I need the epidural, I might suggest that you try some other things. Like, hey, do you want to try some things else to see if it helps before we make that decision? And if you're like, no, I want the epidural right now, then we get you the epidural. But I would say generally, if you should consider asking your team to not mention the epidural to you and wait until you say you want the epidural. That could help.
Oh. Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm the nurse anesthetist, okay?
Man,
I love how she's still, like, you can tell she's in a lot of pain, but she's still trying to breathe through those contractions, and it can be very, very difficult, but she seems to be doing a good job at that.
That epidural felt good. I thought I was terrified of those needles. It was huge. They'd shoot you in the spine and then you're like bruised for like a week afterwards. But in that moment, like, I have never felt a drug so powerful. That was amazing. I don't regret it. I would do it again. And when the doctor came in, it turns out I dilated to 8 centimeters on Pitocin without the epidural.
Do you mind grabbing like a washcloth that's in
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's like you don't know how long these things will take, but it's good. Like, I love it when, you know, moms, regardless of how things go, they still feel good about their decision and they don't regret things and they don't feel traumatized. So I'm happy she's happy with the decision for the epidural, but you just need to be very, very careful when you're playing that game of how dilated am I, because it really could go either way. You could get to 8 centimeters and be stuck there for hours, or you could get to 8 centimeters and be done with that stage in like 10 minutes. So just really don't rely too much on that information.
Oh boy. It's all this linen right here. There might not be one, but just see if we have one. Do you mind helping?
Yes.
So just warm water. I'm gonna just get her cleaned up. But you're good, no rush. Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna clean her up. Yeah, actually you can wipe first because I'm gonna do a good job cleaning up too. Brad's gonna be my co-pilot right now. I'm gonna have him turn it up a little bit once he gets done with that.
What am I turning?
So, on that machine there, that you hit that arrow on the very all the way on the left. There's this up and down. Hit that.
Where are the nurses in this place? I don't understand. Like, I mean, it's not a big deal that he's doing this, but I'm just wondering where is everybody? It's weird. And I would be pissed, and I'm using this word strongly. I would be pissed if when it's time for her to push, all of them will start coming out when they were not here, when she needed all this running around.
Right? That's what I'm set up for you.
I feel like I'm floating in the water like in a pool.
What is he looking for there? Funny. I've never seen anything like this before. Like, I've seen supportive dads, but he's very, very like inside there, and he doesn't seem to be like grossed out about anything. I've never seen anything like that. But also, it's good that she's gotten the epidural, but they're helping her to be in an upright position instead of just being on your back. Because sometimes the doctor or the nurses, they will just tell you to be on your back. But it's good that they supported her into a different position.
She got a foot going on it.
Wait a minute. It's gonna look good to give birth to a baby. Not many people pull that. So close.
I wasn't really cold.
This shivering is typically a sign that you're in transition. That's the stage between 7 to 8 centimeters and when you're 10 centimeters and ready to push. You usually notice, like, at this stage, a lot of moms start to shiver.
But it's almost like my body thought I was cold. Like, I was shivering super bad to where I had them bring heated blankets. Brad put the beanie on my head, and I wasn't getting warmer. I was just like shaking and shaking and shaking to cope with the pain.
I'm start pushing this baby out of here. Okay?
All right. Push low and hard like you're pooping. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good job.
I think your butthole looks a little small.
Swollen? Yeah. I think you might have stool or something that needs to, like, sometimes there's little hemorrhoids there that are just
Like, could that
normally
be
there.
starting to rip on the inside, maybe?
It's like a little tag.
Oh, I can
Take a
show you.
picture?
Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah. I think it's a hemorrhoid.
I think that's from this.
Yeah, I think so.
But I just don't remember seeing it. I mean, like, I was all up in there.
All right. Well, I definitely feel that tomorrow.
Part of my job was to protect Lex's lady parts. So I saw this abnormality, something that, it wasn't really there before. Turns out it was probably a hemorrhoid. And I think it was because of that pushing method. She was trying some weird pushing method where you, like, hold your breath for 10 seconds and then you just force push out your butt. What do you know? Something flares up. So we had her stop that pushing method. I think if she would have stayed doing that pushing method, man, she probably would have split open. Oh, this is some hair.
No way.
That is hair?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but that's the thing when you get the epidural is sometimes you can't feel what you're doing. And so people need to tell you, okay, push or keep pushing or hold your breath, stuff like that, which is not the best because you're more likely to tear that way. But sometimes when you get the epidural, depending on how much you can still feel, that might be how it has to be. But if she can feel things going on there, then the best way is just to let her push however she wants to push, whenever she's ready to push. That will usually result in the least amount of severe tears and stuff like that.
Why does it feel so big?
Feels big?
It's like,
It is a head.
you're pressing my butt open.
I'm trying to keep it intact, but I mean,
The baby's head is pushing it, yeah.
you only
Pushing
do
it
so
open.
much. You can't get.
At this stage, like, he's trying to, I think, to protect it so she doesn't tear. A good idea is to use a warm cloth to, while you're trying to push things, because it will soften the area to help you relax, and that will help things go a bit better and also reduce your likelihood of tearing.
To come eventually, you're gonna change positions, but I want to see how straight can we get you back. It basically seems like the flatter your back is, the more you're pushing the head towards your butthole. As you bring your back up, you're pushing the head down towards your vagina. There you go. There you go. Now can you spread your knees?
This thing is so janky.
What's the furthest you spread your knees? Or in the middle of the contraction, yeah, but it's way. What position will open your pelvis from which line? Yeah, there you go. That was, yeah.
So at the birth center, they wanted us to get a doula, and we joked that like Brad was my doula, and it ended up being like he was basically my doula during the whole labor and delivery process.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I'll even go as far as to say he's even doing more because I don't get in there. I feel like most women just feel they wouldn't feel as comfortable, you know. I've never had anyone ask me to like be that up in there. Typically I like to be more hands off, and then I actually like to witness like when the midwives are there, how they're hands off and they just let you just do your own thing. But again, with epidural, things are a bit different. So he's really, really doing a great job, and she seems to be very comfortable. That's the thing, you need to be comfortable. So she seems to be very, very comfortable with him up in there and all of that. And so it's a good decision for them that they made this choice. Now, if your husband is someone who is squirmy, who does not want to be in the room, who just wants to be at your head, or you know, that kind of thing, if he knows that he's not someone who would want to really be very involved, then you should really, really consider hiring a doula. Or if you just want an extra set of hands.
Oh, how much is out? Oh my god!
A lot is out.
I think we need to turn you over.
A lot of head is out, ladies.
I think we're officially crowning, girl. Yeah. Which is amazing news.
There you go, Lex. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. Good job. I'm trying to hold you together as best I can. One of the things I was doing for Lex when I was down there between her legs is when she would push, everything would flare up so big. I was trying to hold it together. I was trying to just put a little bit of pressure inward to keep it from stretching out too much, because it would stretch way bigger than what his head was going to be. It was absolutely crazy. Before the head was even there, stretching, and I'm holding it together. So that's what she was telling me. Hold it together, hold it together. And so I did my best. There you go. There you go.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh.
Great job. Great job.
Deep breath. Wait for Dr. Jameson, okay?
I can't wait.
Let your body take over.
That's the craziest thing I hear like nurses say. They're like, wait. There's one of my friends who told me that, I don't know if it was her or her mom, when one of them was giving birth and it was time to push and the doctor was not there and the nurses were holding her leg short. Wait for the doctor. What kind of thing? You can't wait. The doctor should have timed things better, or like you can't tell someone to wait. The urge is so strong that you cannot hold it back.
Alright, I need you to turn over. Okay. It's that time. Okay?
Okay, be careful. Wait, she's really stretched out. She turns right now.
I have to turn her.
Can we let the head retreat a little bit?
I don't know if it will anymore.
Okay.
You don't need to turn her. This is the best position she can be. The only thing is, I'm thinking the nurse is not confident in her ability to catch the baby. And maybe, the dad has never done it too, so he too might not be confident and they don't want to drop the baby. So I'm thinking that's why she's very adamant about turning them over. But ideally, the doctor, if he comes, hopefully he knows how to catch a baby in any position that feels best for the mom.
Yeah, we're kind of involuntarily pushing and hands and knees. I just need help turning her over. Okay. Gently. Yeah.
Let's be really careful with the turn.
I'm right here.
Be really careful. Let's you stretch
And
it tight.
another thing is, if hands and knees haven't helped, in my opinion, it's not to now go on your back. You can squat. You can do try a lunging position. They had that bar there. She could have held on to the bar and then she would have squatted, and that might have helped. Or I noticed that her knees were out. She could have inverted her knees in, which it seems counterintuitive, but that actually opens your pelvis in a different way. So there's so many other things. Okay, and now this is where a doula might have been like, okay, let's try this other position, or let's try putting her leg this way. But yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me that you would say she should be on her back because hands and knees is not working. There's so many other things she could have tried first.
Just stretch really tight.
Here, which way are we going? Towards me? Yeah. Here, baby. Come on. I got you.
There you go. Doing great.
Here we go. That was amazing.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh.
my vagina, Brad. Hold it tight. Hold the vagina. Hold my vagina. Hold it.
Gotta keep your legs apart.
Please hold me upright.
Do what he says.
On your chest.
On her chest.
Oh, okay.
You're doing great, Lex.
There we go.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Delivery.
He's out, Lex.
Oh my God! What the? Oh my God!
Great job.
He's still rubbing.
You want him to scream, okay? You had a little bit more of this. Yeah. Congratulations. Come on over here, Brad. Brad, you come over here. Okay? Good job.
Delay clamping. Delay clamping.
Here's what I think, and I think this might be controversial. The baby is crying. There's no need to continuously still be like rubbing against the baby and just like startling the baby. I really feel like there's something to welcoming a child into a very gentle environment. And you hear, when you say these things, you hear the nurses, they will typically say babies are stronger than they look. Yeah, but just because someone is strong doesn't mean you should like, be doing the most. I really feel like, especially when the baby is already crying, the baby does not look blue at all. Like, just put the baby on the mom's chest, and by mom's chest, this is not skin to skin yet. Directly on the mom's skin, and just let them be. Just let them be by themselves like that. That's what I think.
We're not, it's not cramped at all, okay?
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
I don't know.
So that's basically the entire video. Overall, they did a really great job. Brad and Lex, they did a really good job. Brad was very, very supportive. Lex, she stayed strong. She stayed flexible and open to things as they were changing. They did a very good job. This is me just saying, if there was something that could be improved, it's not to shit on them or to say that they didn't. Seeing them work together as a team is really, really incredible. So yeah, these are some tips to keep in mind when you go into labor. I wish all the moms who are pregnant a very satisfying and positive birth experience.